we are doing, we just started a Christmas wreath fundraiser. The small size is 12 inches, it's $15. Medium is 16 inches, it's $25. Large is 20 inches and it's $40. Those will be delivered or pick up approximately the first week of December if anyone is interested in a beautiful wreath for the holidays. Thank you.
And I actually have something too. I'm Ashton with the Day Reporting Center and Community Resource Center with the Department of Correction. And we are partnering with the Sullivan County Anti-Drug Coalition. And we're going to be having a recovery roundtable on January the 21st from 11 until 1. And that is going to be a networking opportunity for professionals in the community that provide any type of recovery service or resource. And then that following Monday on January the 24th, we'll be having a recovery rally, and that's going to be from 9:30 to 12:30. And all this will be held at the Day Reporting Center, and that's at 204 Freckles Court in Johnson City. We share a parking lot with probation and parole. But that recovery rally is going to be for people in the community that that are needing services, reentry services, recovery services, and each of the professionals that came on that Friday, and even if they weren't able to make it, they could come on that Monday, set up a booth, and then provide information to the community about the services they offer.
And that was substance abuse recovery?
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ashton, is there details or a flyer we can get for that? Where can I find that information?
I will include you in the email.
Yeah, please.
But we do not have a flyer yet. We are going to be working with our media team, and we will send that out, that flyer, as soon as it is.
Yeah, I'd like to attend both and set up a table, so please include me in on that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
If you all both wouldn't care to send info to Jane, Jane Harper, she can make sure and include it on her weekly share too that goes to the whole region. So that would be awesome.
I will do that. Thank you.
Yeah, thank y'all. All right, anybody else have events or activities coming up?
Hey, Jillian, it's Kelsey. Sorry, guys, I'm currently on the road. Red Legacy never stops. But we are setting up we already have set up a share type giving shelf in between buildings 409 and 411 in downtown Elizabethton. We are setting out, I guess, kneading bags for men and women. We're setting out scarves, hot hands, water bottles, hygiene products, and we are currently asking for donations. So if you guys have any extra hot hands or scarves laying around, we would love to set those out for those in need in our community. Also, we do have some updates on our venue area. We just had the floors finished yesterday, and it is looking really good in there. It should be done within the next 2 or 3 months, and we'll love for y'all to come down and look at it. But that's it for me.
Thank you, Kels. I think there are also pictures of this on their Facebook page. So go follow Red Legacy and share that if you haven't already. All right, who else has something going on?
Hello, everyone. I'm Caroline Rodriguez, care coordinator for Tennessee Voices Survivor Connection program. Now, it's not that we have anything going on, but I do want to let you know that we are short on cases, and we actually don't have any clients in Carter County. And I actually live in Carter County. So I do want to let you guys know about our program. It is a Survivor Connection program. We are a free program, grant-based. And what we do is that we work with victims of crime. It could be any type of crime like sexual abuse, domestic violence. I actually have curriculums that cover domestic violence because we actually have a lot of clients that come from domestic violence. But I do want to let you know that we provide education to the parents about ACEs, about trauma, about self-care, and also how to build a support network. We also connect community partners with each client so they can have that support once we are gone. The program lasts anywhere from 90 to 120 days. And we come in the home one time per week, and it's completely free. If anyone is interested or has any families that you think would benefit from this program, please let me know. I have put in my information on the chat, and you can send me an email. I'll be happy to send you a referral form and our flyer. Have a great day.
Thank you. Anybody else got something to share?
Is there if I share a little bit about state, Julianne?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, great. So on the 19th, our beta group is set to go to state, where we'll be competing in several competitions. Currently, we are looking for sponsors for when we go for nationals, because we will be going to nationals as well after that.
How do we sponsor?
So you would reach out to Nicole Kendall, who is our current sponsor, and she'll kind of set you up to sponsor us. We're also even looking for just anything like food chains and things like that. If they sponsor us for $100, then they can actually get their logo on the back of our t-shirts for when we go to nationals. So it will also benefit, I was thinking, like small organizations, like family-owned businesses. So I've been trying to reach out to those places as well.
What are you going to state and nationals for?
There's a lot of competitions that we are entering. So like Mia McIntyre, she's entering online, I'm trying to think. She's entering digital drawing and sculptures. We have others who are doing speech and poetry. It's just a lot of competitions. And then we went to Summit, where we competed in service projects. So we were kind of talking about our prom promise, which pledges that we are not going to drink on prom night, so that we have more teens going home safely.
So just to add to that, our youth coalition gets to participate in several different organizations as part of their youth coalition experience. And so they are all SAD club members, Students Against Destructive Decisions, 4-H members, and also Beta club members. So we feel like the combination of all three of those things really gives them a fantastic experience in leadership. And they meet at the office one day a week, and we kind of rotate through those different things. And so Beta is a huge component of this, and we love that they're able to go to competitions and really show off their skills and their leadership abilities and all those things through Beta. So that's what she's working on right now.
Yeah, we actually competed last year, and we did it all virtually. So it was like virtual competitions. But then when you place, it can also lead towards scholarships for the youth. Like if you place in so many competitions, they'll actually give you a scholarship for college. Like last year, I placed nationally for poetry, and I got this plaque, proof, I guess. But so yeah, and it's really beneficial for teens as well, and it can kind of bring it back to your community. So it's always fun to do.
So Nicole, that Emma mentioned, is on the call now. If you all would like more information about sponsoring a kiddo to go to one of these competitions, feel free to reach out to Nicole. And I think she'll share her email in the chat as well. Thanks, Em. Anybody else have updates?
I have an update about the Middle Path. This is actually out of Knoxville, but I'm with the Middle Path here, located in Kingsport. We're the dialectical behavioral program. We do intensive outpatient. Our Knoxville office, which is our main office, we have now opened the Middle Path at GI Kids. So now we have
a middle path IOP within GI Kids that works specifically with youth who are struggling with both mental health and GI. So people who are already going to GI doctors, having some sort of any type of GI issue, and also mental health. There's a very specific group there, and they've got a kitchen, and they work with chefs, and they do the IOP and learn the DBT skills along with their treatment for GI. So we just opened it, and it's GI Kids in Knoxville with the middle path, and it's on our website if anyone is interested in that new program with the middle path.
Thank you for sharing. Anybody else have anything?
I guess I have. Oh, go ahead. I always do that. I'm sorry. This is Marissa Aramburu with Village Behavioral Health, and we are excited to share that we are able to take 12-year-old adolescent boys now into our program. Previously, it was 13 through 17, so we're getting it lower. We're trying to go down to 11, so we're just kind of getting everything lined up, but we can take 12-year-old boys now, so we're excited about that. Thank you.
And I also had a quick update. My name is Shauna Johnson. I'm the health educator for the Carter County Health Department. And I just wanted to let everybody know that we're having a free flu shot event on November the 9th, and that's from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. at our Great Lakes Workforce Development Facility. You don't need to have insurance. All you need to do is a drive-through pod. No charge, no cost, no insurance cards. Just come out and get your flu shot. So tell everybody that you know in Carter County. If you need more information, I'll put my email in the chat, and you can reach out to me, and I can send you paper flyers or drop some off.
Can you share where you all are with vaccinating kiddos for COVID? Have y'all started that yet?
Jillian, it's Caroline. I can jump in a little bit on that. We don't have our vaccine in hand yet. We hope to get that tomorrow. We do have protocol for pediatric Pfizer for those who are 5 years old through 11 to 12 years old. So hopefully we will get that tomorrow. As soon as we get that, our plan is to, of course, we'll have it available out at our Great Lakes pod site. If anybody just happens to pigeon their way out there, you know, and that's the last place they remembered being, we'll certainly have that available if they want to bring their kids there. But we really plan on just scheduling appointments for parents to bring their children to the health department here and just bring them inside and do a vaccine inside, just like a regular any other service. And you'll see, Jillian, the community will see a media release go out from the regional health office as soon as we get that vaccine in hand.
Wonderful, thank you. Anybody else have anything to share?
Julian, the people that have shared, this is Emily Brooks. I'm taking the minutes. As long as you're sending like something to Jane or to me, if you want me to include a flyer or your email or contact info in the minutes. I'll put my email in the chat, but yeah, just let me know if there's anything you need me to add from your announcements today. I'm trying to write everything down, but it's hard to get all the details.
Okay, last call for any announcements or activities anybody wants to share. All right. Well, at this point, I'm going to turn it over to our guest speaker. Actually, I think he's trying to get in right now. Mark Cruz from Strong ACC is going to share with us today. So I will turn it over to him and his team, and they can share more about what they've got going on.
Thank you, Jillian. I'm actually logged in from 2 devices, and I need need you to give me permission to share my screen so I can put some slides up.
Okay, Mark, I'm working on it here. Sorry, 1 second. Sorry, I'm on my phone, Mark. That's why I'm struggling. If you want to go ahead and get started, I'm logging on a computer now and I'll get it pulled up and give you access to share.
Okay. All right. No problem. Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mark Cruz. I'm the director of the Strong Accountable Care Community, and it's my pleasure to join you today. And thanks to Julian for the invitation. We are excited to be able to share some information about the Strong ACC, and I know that some of you are familiar with us because your organizations are members and you've known about us, but others of you may not be. So hopefully we can get everybody who's on the call up to a common set of knowledge and understanding about who we are, and give you a chance to ask some questions at the end. I'm joined also today by our new community engagement specialist who's working full-time for the Strong ACC, and that's Brittany Bowles. Brittany started about 5 weeks ago and doing a terrific job with us, and I'm thrilled to have her on board as it gives us some additional bandwidth to carry out the work that we are engaged in. So it looks like I do have now the ability to my screen. That's wonderful. And let's see if we can share this PowerPoint slide deck. Doesn't can yet. That's odd. So try again. Window. Here. There we go. That's popping up. And I hope that you can see this on the screen now. I'll move it to slideshow format, so that should help. And so the Strong ACC is about the work of creating brighter futures for the next generation. And I love this slide, this picture on the initial slide that shows a family, multiple generations gathered around, children smiling, adults smiling, something happening around snack time, and everybody seems to be content and have their needs met at this moment. And that's exactly the kind of environment that we want to help create and bring about for the next generation for our region. So what is the Strong ACC? So we are an accountable care community of now nearly 300 organizations throughout Northeast Tennessee and Southwest Virginia, working together through the collective impact model to create brighter futures for children, families, and communities. That is, in a nutshell, who we are. The acronym STRONG is apt description of what we're about: resilience and opportunity for the next generation. So this really, sorry about that, from fairly recent history, starting in 2018, when the merger that created Ballad Health created this huge groundswell of interest in not only how there could be a single united network of hospitals throughout the region, but how our region could actually come together to improve community health. And there was a clear sense and realization that, that Ballad Health even with the efficiencies and economies of scale achieved through the merger, could not do it but on its own, and that there needed to be a multi-sector, longitudinal kind of systemic approach. And out of those discussions came the idea of forming this accountable care community. And Ballot Health does remain actively involved as a backbone support organization along with the United Way of Southwest Virginia. And so a pretty intensive period of planning and visioning took place. And out of that came a strategic plan. And we'll share more about what's included there. I started in March of this year. My background is in charitable healthcare, 30 years plus in working with community-based, mostly healthcare organizations serving vulnerable populations. And I previously worked with not just local collaboratives, but also state associations and a national organization. I'm native of Southwest Virginia, so I'm not unfamiliar with the region. Have family here, and my wife and I are delighted to now be here. We purchased a home in Jonesboro and absolutely love it here. My in-laws live just across the border from Carter County in Avery County, North Carolina, and we're pleased to be close to them as well. So it feels like home, and just appreciate how welcoming everybody has been. So we have work groups that have started around our 4 initiatives for this year. And I'll tell you more about our Bright Start Tennessee Northeast initiative as well. So it is an accountable care community. It really comes out of a lot of research that has shown that communities that come together and build high-performing linkages between healthcare and social care really can move the needle on health outcomes, as well as reduce costs. And doing so through a multi-sector approach, and the collective impact model really has shown tremendous ability to make great strides in the community's health. So there's a lot of research around this in the literature, and there are a lot of these communities around the country. We are one of the few, if not the only one, that actually covers 2 states. So we have some uniqueness in regards to that, which has advantages and it has some challenges along with it. This graphic vividly illustrates, sort of what makes for health, and really so little of what makes a person healthy comes from actual health care. Upwards of 50% of what contributes to health really comes from the decisions we make about ourselves, how we take care of ourselves, what we eat, how we sleep, how we cope with stress, how we deal with traumatic experiences, and the things that we do generally that impact our physiology and our mental health. And those are the kinds of decisions and processes that we want to influence through the Strong ACC by creating the conditions for individuals and families to be able to make prudent decisions for themselves and to take better care of themselves, and to have access to the services and supports they need in order to make those decisions and attain health. And if we do that and make those investments in service and support and programming upstream, the hope is that we'll reduce some of that downstream adverse outcomes and sickness and situations that cost us a lot of money as a society. And, so this is a little bit different look at the whole social determinants of health, with a little bit more detail of all the variety of factors that impact health from the social side, and And we're all about trying to mobilize these factors and services and supports to achieve health. We have a mantra in the Strong ACC that we think regionally and act locally, and that's very true. So the idea is that we've come together across these 21 counties to develop a common agenda, and each organization then takes and does what it can locally to contribute to that larger regional agenda. And then in so doing, the hope is that that we'll make real progress. So the collective impact model, for those that haven't had familiarity with it, has these 5 pillars, and it's an integrated model, meaning you can't take one of these pillars out and expect the model to work. You really have to have all 5 working together. And the backbone staff and backbone organizations are critical to the success of a collective impact effort. Without the backbone, there really can't be an effective coalition. And so the United Way of Southwest Virginia and Ballot Health are our 2 backbone partners. Brittany and I are actually employed by one of those backbone partners, but we really are accountable to our leadership council, and I'll tell you more about that body here in a second. So in traditional kind of population community health endeavors, there's an aspiration to achieve some larger macro change in the population, be it around health or education or some outcome. And so organizations who sort of deal with that particular area with the best of intentions will say, hey, we want to be a part of that too. And so they'll develop programs and desired outcomes that hopefully cumulatively with others then lead to a population change. And often that proves not to happen, and the problem continues. And so in collective impact, it's a very different approach. It's more of a focus not on programs and organizations, but on the actual results that we intend to achieve. And then it's a matter of supporting organizations in aligning their programs and services with efforts to bring about that change, and then providing training, technical assistance, opportunities to learn about and apply best practices, and putting together the data and performance measures that help to track and monitor progress towards achieving that result, and then identifying all the necessary strategies that are critical to making that result come about. So it's a very different orientation, and that's what we Strong ACC are trying to utilize. So this is that org chart that shows that we have this leadership council that is really the body that is driving the agenda and steering the work of the Strong ACC. And it's been 12 members from Virginia and 12 from Tennessee. We recently had one of the Virginia members change jobs and has stepped down, so we're looking to replace her. But in any case, it's the chief sort of governing body for our work, and then we have committees that perform various functions for it. We have the membership, which is nearly 300 unique organizations, and groups aligned around each of the initiatives that we're taking on this year. So these are the actual members of the Leadership Council, and you'll recognize some of these names, I'm sure. It really is a stellar group. I've been around this kind of work for 30 years, and I've not had occasion to come across a more sort of united and passionate group of leaders than this. And so it's serving us well. And these folks are determined to see this regional effort succeed and are willing to put time and effort into helping bring it about. Dr. Karen Schetzina is our chair. She's at ETSU Pediatrics. She's just such a great champion and a spokesperson and an organizer. And so we're blessed to have great leadership. So back to that common agenda, which is another one of those collective impact pillars. During all that planning that took place, with a lot of different discussions and sectors coming together, business, education, healthcare, social care, there was a look at what were the areas that the strong ACC over time could impact most. And out of that series of discussions, 4 priority areas were determined: substance abuse and misuse, substance use disorder, tobacco use, obesity, and then somewhat surprisingly to some at the time, childhood trauma and resiliency. And as things have evolved, there is clearly a bias within the strong ACC towards addressing the needs of our population upstream through more preventative and early intervention strategies, with the hope being that as we make those investments upstream, that will impact downstream those adverse outcomes of substance use disorder and tobacco use and obesity, along with others, much more effectively than if we made investments elsewhere. So, so we in the strong ACC we have what we call a life course approach, which looks at prenatal to post-secondary, or sometimes referred to as career to conception to career, with the idea being that if we help families that are starting to raise children, help those children and moms have good perinatal health outcomes and get off to a good start with infant and toddler development, and then enter kindergarten ready to learn, reach 3rd grade and have proficiency in reading and math, and move on through high school with lots of good preparation, exposure to careers and opportunities to experience the workplace and apprenticeships and things of that nature, to then go to graduate, able to either go into college or go into the workplace or into some post-secondary certificate program that gives them a pathway to a good paying job that has upward mobility and economic security. Then if we do all of those things, then the ideas will create the platform for healthier lives and well-being. And so that's really what we're about. In the meantime, the strategic plan that came together really was in many ways about sort of laying the foundation and creating some capacity, greater capacity in the region for us to be able to make real strides towards these longitudinal community health changes. And so if you look down through this list of 17 things, you can quickly see that no one of these things is going to result in an immediate improvement in community health and well-being, but they are rather creating capacity, building new capacities, and allowing a foundation to be laid to then build on and grow our ability to make those more sweeping changes in things like perinatal health outcomes, 3rd grade reading and math, college and career readiness, things of that nature. So We're tackling 4 of these 17 this year in earnest with the help of work groups that are comprised of members of that nearly 300 organizations. So if you're a member of the Strong ACC, you're eligible to register your interest in serving on a working group, and our leadership council makes those appointments. So these work groups have standing monthly meetings. They're each working on work plans, and they've really dived in and rolled up their sleeves and gotten right into the work quickly this fall with the help of good leadership and backbone support. One of those 4 initiatives that we're very pleased to be implementing is the regional data dashboard. So this actually lives on the Strong ACC's website at strongacc.org. And if you click on data dashboard, you can have access to a number of different sources of data nicely mapped out across our 21 county region, along with data tables if you want to look at the source data. And it's just a rich repository of great data for our region for purposes of planning and program development, grant writing, and just being able to learn about our region and monitor progress over time. The hope is that we'll have trend data here, as well as point-in-time data, so that it can really serve a lot of different uses for our region. Another of the 4 initiatives is our No Wrong Door initiative, which is really the idea of trying to create in time a reality where no person, no client, no patient, no student, no member of an organization would ever have to enter a wrong door if they needed help for themselves or their families with some basic needs, that somebody inside that doorway would be able to help them. And the only way to have that happen in any sort of rational, coherent way is through the presence of a robust community referral technology. And after a long period of vetting of various products in the marketplace, and there are a growing number of these, we landed on a company called Unite Us, and you've probably heard about this. And maybe your organization has already begun to adopt this platform. It's a company that was started in 2013 by a couple of veterans who came out of the service and were just trying to find some basic needs to help their buddies. And they found this incredibly fragmented social care delivery system. And they said, you know what, we can use technology to make some of this process a whole lot more rational and easy to navigate. So they created this initial platform that was a wild success with veterans and military families. And then they said, you know what, we should just keep on and make this available to a whole host of different health and social care organizations to be able to help a lot of different populations. And they did. And so now 9 years later, they've grown to 44 states, 85 communities, 1,000 employees, and so here in the Appalachian Highlands, thanks to an investment from Ballad Health, Unite Us is being made available on the Tennessee side to any organization that wants to participate in this platform, with all of the license fees paid for, and that is a significant investment. And we're actually the first region in Tennessee to adopt Unite Us. They're now planning to expand across to other areas of the state, but we were the first to adopt it. We launched in June, and it has already proven to be a tremendous vehicle for shortening the amount of time for referrals to be made and for clients and patients to be able to get access to those services and supports. And it's got so many good features to it. The ability, for example, to obtain patient consent before each and every referral is made. They have like 7 or 8 different legal and easy to follow modalities to capture that consent and embed that documentation in the platform, and just so much capability to not just facilitate referrals, but also to track the outcome of those referrals, to track clients' movement towards achieving their plan of care and towards meeting their self-sufficiency goals. And it then has the ability to track population health in the aggregate. Some communities around the state have actually moved with Unite Us to be able to develop a payment system so that they're being paid for providing certain outcomes for clients as a result of the Unite Us platform. So that's sort of the holy grail we'd all love to move towards one day. Not quite there yet here, but we're on the move. And here's an example of an early referral from Ballad to the Upper East Tennessee Human Development Agency for someone who needed help with housing, was about to lose their home, and got some help right away with the help of the Unite Us platform. Here's someone who needed to be connected to food and SNAP services. So we're really bullish on Unite Us and working hard to get the word out along with the Unite Us team. They're holding community information sessions on a regular basis, and happy to share those upcoming dates with any of you who might be interested. Just put a note in the chat, if you will, and we'll get you hooked up. I've also listed the 2 staff that are servicing our region. Mallory Hill is servicing the Tennessee organizations, and she would be happy to provide a demo to you and meet with you and your team one-on-one to give you a deep dive into Unite Us. It really is quite spectacular. So let me move quickly to the Bright Start Tennessee initiative, which is an initiative of the Tennesseans for Quality Early Education, which has been a very effective policy and advocacy organization for early childhood in the state, and is now taken another step towards practice. They have received funds to help serve as a catalyst for the development of 6 regional or local partner communities to join what's called the Bright Start Tennessee Network and build a robust plan for early care and education for children birth to 3rd grade. So we're one of 6 inaugural communities that was selected by TQEE here in Northeast Tennessee, and the Strong ACC, because of its previous work and collective impact, was chosen to be the convening entity to lead this planning effort in Northeast Tennessee, which will culminate initially in the production of a strategic plan for early care and education by June 2022, and then followed by implementation steps that will occur over a period of 3 years. So it's an exciting opportunity and a nice recognition of our work. And again, echoing the point I made before, it really does continue to push our work to earlier stage in life when we can really make meaningful changes and strides in setting children on a path towards success in the education and in life, along with their families. So it's a cool opportunity, and we're excited to be a part of it. We have the chief goal of being 3rd grade reading and math proficiency, and then we've got 3 supporting goals that will help to bring about that higher level goal. And around those 3 supporting goals, we've built work groups, and we would invite any of you who are interested in participating in this Bright Start planning to join one of these work groups. If you'll put in the chat your name, your email address, and which of these 3 work groups you'd like to serve on, we will be happy to add you to the list. The first meetings of these will likely be end of November, early December, and will carry on through March or April. So we'd love to have your involvement there. We're also going to be doing a big survey that'll be posted on our website. We're doing town hall meetings in each of the 10 counties in Northeast Tennessee that you'll probably be hearing about. There'll be a Carter County town hall meeting specifically for those in Carter County who have an interest in early childhood learning and development. And we're also interviewing subject matter experts on this topic. Lastly, want to just share this slide of how you can get involved. Certainly, we want you to become a member of the Strong ACC if you're not already. On our website, there is a Partners tab, and on that Partners tab is a list of all the organizations that are members. And so you can check that to see if your organization is already a member, and if it's not, just let me know, and let Brittany know, and we'll get you hooked up. Lots of different ways to be involved. You'll meet other organizations who are involved in similar work. You will be invited to meetings. We're getting ready to have another Strong ACC all-member meeting in a couple of weeks. You'll be able to receive news and announcements and invitations through our network, and be able to just participate in this larger regional common agenda to create a brighter future for our Appalachian Highlands. So this is mine and Brittany's contact information, and we'd love to hear from you. Love to sit down and meet with you and get to know your organization, and discuss ways that you could be involved in the Strong ACC and just help be a part of something really special. So I'll stop there, Jillian, and happy to answer any questions that folks may have. Like I said, if you want to learn more or want to join one of the work groups, just put a note in the chat box, or you can just ask us directly now.
Thank you so much, Mark, for sharing. Anybody have questions for him?
Mark, I'd like to be involved in some of the community meetings that you were talking about. So I'd like to get in contact with you probably sometime early next week.
Terrific. Thank you, Eric.
Yeah.
Yes, thanks. Just shoot me an email or a text, and I'd love to hear from you.
Got your information, so looking forward to working with you.
Mark, you have one question
Thank you.
in the chat. It says, how about Veterans Now? Does Unite Us continue that focus?
Yes, Tony, they do very much. As you can imagine, the 2 founders, being veterans, are very much about making sure veterans are served. And so, in terms of what that means locally, we are working with the Veterans Administration to add them as a partner as we speak, to enable them to then be able to make referrals to other social care organizations as well as healthcare organizations to be able to facilitate those referrals back and forth. So that's very much a focus, and we're hoping for larger institutions like a VA, it's a little bit more involved to get them onboarded. Lots of things have to sort of go into making that decision and making that transition to adopt that technology. But over time, we think that that will happen, and we're excited about that. Another question that came in was about the difference between 211s and Unite Us. That's a great question, and actually, Unite Us just held a large town hall about Unite Us and 211s, and we can provide a link to that town hall. In fact, I can probably pull it up real quick as I'm speaking. I think the way to think about 211 and Unite Us is that if 211s were to adopt Unite Us, it would greatly enhance to do what they connect people to services. Unite Us is kind of 211 on steroids. I've heard it said that way, and so 211 is a great tool for finding out what services are available to meet specific needs. And so you're connected then, if you're looking for that service, then you're told what agency provides that service, and maybe you're given a phone number to call or an email to send to, and that's sort of where 211 leaves off. But through Unite Us, not only the sending organization, but the receiving organization of that referral are then able to communicate back and forth ultimately until that referral has been completed, so that then both organizations know what has been done for that client, and that information remains available for other organizations that may then be working to support that client going forward. So that then it allows more information to be made available, not just at the onset of that referral relationship, but going forward. So that's a key difference. Is 211 and Unite Us. I think, Brittany, I have that link to the Unite Us 211 right here and paste it into the chat box, unless you've already got it.
Yes, Mark, I put the link in the
it's
chat
a Vimeo.
box. Oh, okay, perfect.
Oh, okay. All right, you're welcome. Great question, though. Oh, there, I see it up there, yeah.
Any more
I
questions?
think, Brittany, that Brittany, I think that link you put up is the one, the Unite Us Town Hall meeting they just had this week. Is that right? And the one that I put in is actually that 211 Unite Us Town Hall that was a few weeks ago. Anyway, either one of those links will give you good information. Any other questions? All right. Well, Jillian, thank you so much for the opportunity to come and be a part of your meeting today. We look forward to hearing from those who were present and doing some follow-up meetings and conversations, and just thank you for all that you do and each one of you do to serve those in need in Carter County and as well as other places. It really takes all of us working together, and I believe in a coordinated, organized fashion to really achieve the kind of goals that we want to long term. And so Thank you for your support and your interest in the Strong ACC, and I hope that I'll get a chance to meet you all again in the very near future.
Thank you so much, Mark. We appreciate you sharing all of this awesome information with us. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and open up our breakout rooms. If you're new or haven't joined a breakout room, just very quickly, I'm going to share what they are. Breakout room A is our Substance Use and Trauma Committee led by Brooke Jones. Committee B is our Action and Awareness Committee led by me. And that's where we kind of focus on different activities in the community, things like drives and sharing events and spreading the word about things that are going on to make us have a better community. And then Committee C is our Data Collection Committee that's led by Dr. DeLucia. They do needs assessments. We're working on an awesome grant right now, all kinds of good stuff. So I'm going to open up the breakout rooms and you're welcome to join as you wish.
Oh my.
All right, I think we have everybody back. Thanks to everybody that hung in there for these subcommittee groups. I'll ask that Committee A share a little bit about what they talked about or any ways that the full committee or the full CCC can support them.
Okay, so in Committee A, we talked more about our goals for the committee and how we can reach those goals. And we were thinking of ways of how we can support the recovery community with the upcoming holidays because there's a high relapse rate and just overall some just mental health struggles throughout the holidays, due to the high stress and all of that. So we're trying to think of some ways to support during that time. And we thought that maybe we could do a virtual Christmas party that will consist of, I don't know, we're still in the process of planning it. So we're going to work together through email over the next month or so to figure out more of the ins and outs of that. But I'm thinking maybe we could have like a speaker, play some Christmas games, something that will be engaging. And also we'll need like an incentive for people who participate. So we're going to work on that and try to figure out how to pull this off. That's all for us.
That sounds amazing. I love that idea. If there are ways that we can support you all, please let us know. It sounds like such an important thing. So we appreciate that. Committee B, we talked a little bit about the projects that we're focusing on for November and December. So we decided last meeting to support some youth who are doing a project with the senior center. So if anybody has art supplies, that they would like to donate to that project, please let us know. We'll have the youth come pick them up. So this project, if you didn't hear at the last meeting, some youth are creating activity bags for seniors who may be stuck at home in the colder months, and also creating videos to go with them to just so seniors have something to do and a fun activity for them. So if you want to support that project in any way, please reach out to me and I will send some youth to pick up goodies from you. We talked last time about supporting the Witten Huddle coat drive. I'm going to post that in the chat for you there, the link to that post. So we talked about that again, about just making sure we're spreading the word and sharing that. And then also adding to our list the Red Legacy project as well, and making sure that we are sending folks, if there are people sometimes that, I know around the holidays, we get a lot of calls from folks that just want to do something and they're not sure what to do. So making sure we're sending them in the direction of these projects that are going on, whether it be the Senior Center, Red Legacy, or Witten Huddle. And then we also talked about the need for some kiddos who may have missed sign up for Angel Tree or the things that support them for Christmas. And so if you all know something that's going to support kiddos in that way, or again, if you have somebody reach out to you and say, I want to do something, but I don't know what to do, get in contact with us. I think Miss Lisa at 211 is really getting more of those calls than anybody. And so reaching out to her if you have somebody that wants to support somebody, or if you start a project to support these kiddos, or you hear of one, just making sure that we fill Miss Lisa in so she can connect these kiddos with people that want to make sure they have a good Christmas. So that's kind of where we are with Committee B. Dr. DeLucia, will you share a little bit about Committee C?
Hey, I don't care to share, Julian. This is Emily. For Committee C, we're actually trying to kind of switch some things around, and I think I'm going to be the chair for Committee C now, with the support of all of my wonderful committee members. So what we've been working on is we've actually been having some meetings outside of our regular CCC meetings. So we're going to be meeting on the second Wednesday of every month at 1. So if anybody's interested in our committee meetings, you can email me and I can send you that Zoom link. We're working on kind of we have a Dropbox that Dr. DeLucia made us, where we have all of our resources that we're going to be able to pull from for our committee. And then we're kind of talking about and working on a potential grant opportunity, a funding opportunity from the health department for health councils that want to work on a community needs assessment. So we're in the process of working on that. We might be reaching out to some specific people in the CCC to kind of help us and guide us as we kind of go through that process and plans. But that's all we have for now.
Sounds great. Thank you all so much for all the work that you're doing as well. All right, anybody have any closing thoughts? All right, well, we will see you in a month. The first Thursday of December, we'll be back here together. So thanks everybody for all the work you're doing, and thanks for being here.
Thanks, Julian.